Boys, welcome back for another video. I'm on my main account here, and we're doing a main account update video, but we're going to talk more than just about my account, and I want to kind of broaden this to a lot of people that I think fall into very similar boats as what my account looks like. And so, to give you some context first, my account a year ago, at the end of 2023, had no GLs and was under 3 million GP. My basic relic structure was I had my Darth Revan team with Malik relict, I had my Padme team relict, and I had my CLS team relict. I was kind of building like a core farming path, and I kind of returned to the game around a little before December of 2023, and was kind of picking it back up and saw Lightspeed bundles, thought, oh, this would be a good time to kind of get back into it. I can get some of the stuff I miss, specifically Ray and SLKR were very interesting because I never wanted to farm them, but I really wanted them. And so anyways, all that said, I ended up picking up pretty much every Lightspeed bundle that came out in the last year. We've picked up a couple of Zeta packs here and there. And so to try to catch up on all that, and we went from about 3 million GP to about 8 million GP in a year, which is crazy. We added 5 million GP in a year, which is insane amounts of progress, and we're in huge Zeta debt. And so I want to talk about what I've been doing with my account, why I've been doing it that way, and then I want to talk about maybe what I would do differently if I wasn't a content creator and trying to optimize my account for that. So let's start off with the biggest question I get when people look at my account. So you'll see I have Sith Eternal. I just recently got him with Lightspeed bundles. I've got Rey, I've got SLKR, I've got Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master Luke, and Jabba. So we are up to 6 GLs now on the account. And if we look over here at my ships, this is the thing most people notice immediately on my account, which is that I don't have my Executor, my Leviathan, or my Profundity, but mainly the Executor is the one people question. Because when you look at my actual progress, you'll see that I have pretty much everything done for Executor. So part of this is my arrogance and ignorance, thinking that a Executor Lightspeed bundle was going to come. I didn't want to have to relic Piet. Piet was not relicked until the C Lightspeed bundle came around. And I thought we would get a Lightspeed bundle eventually that would give us the rest of the Executor requirements. That has still not happened. I'm still holding out hope that that might happen. But if I was smarter and I could do it over, I would have just gone and gotten Executor, probably before I went and got like, Jedi Master Kenobi. Jedi Master Kenobi was what I was working on before I got all the Lightspeed bundles, and so I went and finished him in between kind of the JML and the Jabba Lightspeed bundle coming out. I went and got JMK. So I probably should have just gone and gotten Executor during that time instead, but JMK is like one of my favorite characters, and I really wanted to go just finish it and get it, and so I did. But the way I want to apply this to more accounts is, one, I want to talk to a first group of people that have also gotten all or almost all of the Lightspeed bundles. And then I want to address the people that haven't gotten all the Lightspeed bundles, but are planning to get them when or if they come back. And then I want to talk to people that got some Lightspeed bundles, but maybe have decided they're not going to get certain ones, okay? So let's go to that first group first. For those of you that have gotten most or all of the Lightspeed bundles, what would I do as far as farming? What would I do differently than maybe what I'm doing? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get as many things that I can use to make good content with, which is kind of hard to say what that's going to be, but the more meta teams I have, the more meta testing I can do, and the better content I can make with this account. This account, my basic goal is to catch up to the end game as soon as possible, or as cheap as possible, really, with spending the least amount of money. And so that way I can test a lot of things, test datacrons, test off-meta counters. That kind of thing is really what I want this account to be. I don't plan on this account being like the Kyber 1, like super optimized roster. I want to more focus on using the meta to help me test off meta stuff, basically, so I can provide those resources to you guys that maybe don't have the resources to go buy every single Lightspeed bundle. So I can help you make that determination of, oh, hey, I used Afra to beat this, so maybe the Afra bundle actually is really good for this specific counter. Or, hey, if you can get this conquest character, like, this is one that I think is really important to get, and maybe this one is one that's not as important to get that we can pass on. And so that's kind of my mindset with this account, and I don't care that I'm not super optimized all of the time with it. But For the average player, I think to enjoy the game the most, you're going to have the most fun if you can optimize the amount of resources you have to do the best in GAC and Territory Wars. The more teams you can take out, the less often you'll get stuck behind something, and the more fun I think you'll have in general. And one of the things that I am seriously missing out on is those fleet crystals. So if you are like me and you have gotten the all the bundles and you haven't gone and finished your Executor, stop wasting time and just go finish it. It is the most important thing you could do. Missing a GL fleet, it lost me my Grand Arena just a little bit ago on stream, and of not having a GL fleet, and it's continuing to lose me GACs because I'm not having a GL fleet, and it's honestly making me dread GAC sometimes because I don't have my GL fleet. And so if you're waiting for the Executor bundle and your account looks something like this for the requirements, just go finish these last two. If you want to be hyper optimized, and in fact I do recommend this for most people, if you are planning on buying future Lightspeed bundles and you are working on a journey that you are worried is going to come in a Lightspeed bundle, you're going to want to hoard the gear first before applying it. And so what I mean by that is you can use any tool such as something like swiggle.gg or Swiggle Events Discord. So let me show you one of those real quick. All right, sorry for the abrupt cut. Everything was taking forever to load, but on swiggle.gg, if you go to the units tab and then you search for the character that you're looking for, you can pull up the gear that they require, and you can make sure that you just have all of this gear ready. So what I would do is I would start hoarding all of this, make sure you have it ready to apply, and then once you have all of it done, then you can apply it all together at once. The reason I say to do this is because it gives you the maximum amount of time to hoard up this gear, and then if the Lightspeed bundle comes before that, you can purchase the thing and not have to worry about it, and then you can use all that gear for something else. If it does come right after you apply that gear, at least you save the money of not buying the Lightspeed bundle, and you're not like halfway through the gear and then buying the Lightspeed bundle, but at least you've done the gear that you wanted to do, and then the Lightspeed bundle comes. It's like, yeah, sure, you missed it, but at least you're not like getting halfway through the process and losing out on that gear that was in between where you were previously and then where you ended up buying the Lightspeed bundle at. So hopefully that makes sense. Another tool that you can use to do this is if you use hot utils, you can go down here to Swiggle Events Gear. It will pull in your data. You can also use Swiggle Events Gear without hot utils. It's not going to pull in all of your stuff automatically, and then you can sort by needed, so it'll tell you all the stuff that you need in order to get that character up. So I'm currently working on saving materials for Ben Solo. This is my plan to and this is exactly what I'm doing with Ben Solo, is I'm saving all of this gear so that way as soon as I unlock him, I can take him up to Relic 7. If a Ben Solo Lightspeed bundle comes next year, which I actually kind of missed in my Lightspeed bundle video, but I think that's another good possibility, is a Ben Lightspeed bundle at some point. But I don't know if I'd want to spend $40, which I think of what it would be. Then I know I already have all the gear ready and I can just gear them up as soon as I get them. So if you're like me and you've bought the bundles, just go get Executor. Do it that way where you save the gear and then go get it. And then the other thing I would start to work on is filling in the gaps in your roster. And this is what I'm working on right now. And a lot of my gaps come from the Conquest characters that I'm missing. I have only unlocked Ahsoka and Maul for Conquest. With Proving Grounds coming up, I did get the extra Proving Grounds attempt, so I will be getting Dad Bod Boba, I'll be getting Ben, I'll be getting Trench, and I'll be getting Ezra Exile when Conquest ends tomorrow, today, for when this video actually is posted. So I'm going to start working on gearing some of these characters. Now, Dad Bod Boba, not going to do a whole lot for me, so I'm not going to worry about gearing him right now. Same thing with Maul, same thing with Trench, not doing a whole lot for me, but like Ben, I'm definitely going to gear up. Ezra Exile, I'm definitely going to gear up. When I do get Malgus, I'll make sure to gear up Malgus, because I do have the rest of my Revan and Malak and all that relic, so I definitely will go get Malgus, but look for the gaps in your roster. Some key ones that I see a lot of people missing when I do roster reviews on streams. Gear up your Zori. Zori Bliss is so good. And of course, my hot utils caused me to desync. Zori Bliss is so good. I get so many holds with Zori, and so many people are still slacking and not getting Zori geared up. It is by far one of the best investments you can do if you got the Rey bundle or the Resistance bundle. Another big one that I think a lot of people are missing is the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. If you got the Jedi Allies Lightspeed bundle, go ahead and throw this Omicron on Qui-Gon Jinn. It is such a good team, especially if you got the Cam bundle. You throw Jedi Knight Anakin in there, and you have such a great 3v3 team. You have such a great 5v5 team. You don't need Beck to make that team really solid. Also, I really like the Rose Omicron. It's not necessary, but if you have an extra Omicron to spare, certainly worth it. Captain Rex is another one that I think you should just go ahead and gear. Yes, he might come in a bundle later on, but your Phoenix is such a good tool. In Territory Wars, Phoenix can beat Gungans. In Territory Wars, it can beat Inquisitors. In Grand Arena, it can beat Inquisitors. Such a good team. And Rex is so good in both 5v5 and 3v3. Highly recommend you get Captain Rex. But just look in your roster for the gaps, and you can come by my stream, you can come by any other Swiggle streamers stream and ask them, hey, where are the gaps in my roster? Like, is there any one character side farms that I should do just to kind of round out my account, or should I just continue on to the next GL that I'm close to? But I would really take a look at some of those teams that maybe you're just missing one character on to make really good. The second piece of advice I have for people that are in my boat of having most or all of the Lightspeed bundles is be very selective with your Zetas. Be very selective with your Zetas. There are so many Zetas that you need, and there are a lot that you can pass on. For example, Jedi Knight Luke's leadership. Yes, it's good for one of the assault battles, but it's not 100% necessary. Jedi Master Kenobi's basic. Yes, it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's not 100% necessary. Same with C's basic. A lot of the Galactic Legends basic Zetas are not always that amazing. Certainly, if you're going to counter Jedi teams, it might be helpful to have this, but against other teams, I don't know that that's super necessary. My C's been doing fine without it. So just be very selective with your Zetas. Don't apply Zetas just willy-nilly. You can use bots on Discord to help you determine what Zetas are applicable. Arnold has an amazing spreadsheet that ranks Zetas as well. I think that's another helpful tool for that. But just be very selective with your Zetas. Don't spend them without thinking about it and making sure that it's a good investment before you do it. So now my advice is to the people that haven't gotten all the Lightspeed bundles, but are planning on getting more the next time they come around. This might sound obvious, but don't farm things that you're gonna get a Lightspeed bundle for. And in fact, be ready for when those Lightspeed bundles come. So I've heard a lot of people that say, oh, I'm gonna get the Rey bundle when it comes back. I'm gonna get the SLKR bundle when it comes back. Okay, go look up what that comes in that bundle. For Rey, for example, let's pull up Rey's requirements. Jedi Training Rey does not come in those bundles. You need Jedi Training Rey's gear ready to go for when you get that bundle. And if I was somebody that was just waiting on the Rey bundle to show back up, I would keep that gear sitting on my account until that bundle shows up. I would keep the relic mats needed to take BB-8 up as well. BB-8's a legendary character, so BB-8 didn't come. So to get both of these to Relic 7, I would have those materials, those gear pieces, and those relic mats sitting on my account, not being applied to any other characters, and I would wait until that bundle came. Scavenger Rey comes at Relic 5, and you got to take her to Relic 7, so I would hoard those pieces that are needed to take her from 5 to 7. Keep those in reserve and build on top of it. The nice thing about the tool that we showed earlier on Swiggle Events is if you have other characters that you want to work on, you can just save them in here. So if I wanted to work on Jedi Training Rey, and I wanted to make sure I had the mats to take her to Relic 7, I could keep her in here while putting more characters that I want to work on, so that way I know it's accounting for both the gear I need to take her up to Relic 7 when I get her, and the gear I need to take him to Relic 7 when I get him. So just use tools like this. You might have, if you don't have high utils, you might have to use a manual list like this, but be ready for those characters. Even if you can't hoard every single gear piece, at least the really hard ones, the Gear 12 Plus pieces, the relic mats, the signal data, make sure you just have that sitting ready. Because if you're going to buy the Lightspeed bundle, the time between when you buy it and when you unlock the thing is we're just basically just minimizing that time by hoarding it before you get it. So it's almost like you're getting the Lightspeed bundle earlier by having the materials ready to take the necessary characters up in relic levels to unlock the GL or whatever you're going for. Same thing with SLKR. Emperor Palpatine does not come in those bundles, so you need to take him to Relic 7. You can do that now so that when you get the bundles, because it doesn't affect Emperor Palpatine, it'll get the rest of your requirements almost to where they needed. These two come at Relic 5, so you'll need the materials to take them to Relic 7, but then you don't have any gear you actually have to hoard for SLKR. All you have to do is just hoard some Relic mats, and that's a lot easier to keep track of than it is to keep track of gear. So if you're going to buy a Lightspeed bundle in the future, be prepped to unlock what you need to with it, and do not upgrade any of those characters. If I had to like First Order Executioner sitting in Gear 12, I'm not going to take him to Gear 13 if I know I'm going to get the SLKR bundle in a couple of months when it comes back. So just keep those things in mind. If you haven't bought bundles yet, but you're planning on buying them. Another thing you can do, if you're like, for example, if you're planning on buying the Rey one, I talked about filling in gaps. You can fill in the gap before you even have the gap by just going and getting your Zori now. And then when you do get the Rey bundle, you'll have Zori and you'll have your OG Finn, your Resistance Hero Finn, your Resistance Hero Poe, and your Rose or your Poe, or however you want to run that team. But you'll have the rest of that team ready to go the second you unlock it if you went and got your Zori beforehand. So look for the anticipated gaps as well in your roster. Another one that I think a lot of people do is when they buy the Starkiller bundle. I don't think I have Starkiller saved. They don't have a Rebel Fighter team to go with Kyle Katarn. They don't have Scoundrels to go with Dash Rendar. You can start to build those things up before you get that bundle if you know that you're going to get that bundle. Also, if you've seen a character in a bundle and the price was an object for you, for example, let's say you saw the Afra bundle and you're like, I just can't spend $50 on those characters. And you're like, I don't know what to farm. Well, go farm Afra. If you're not going to buy the bundle, you'll have to farm it manually someday, and you know the cost of it, and you've already decided, I don't want to pay that cost, so just go farm it. It'll save you from the trouble of, dang it, I missed the Lightspeed bundle for that, because you know what the Lightspeed bundle was. You just looked at the cost, you said, I don't want to buy that for that cost, and so you just go farm it manually. Now, Afra is a bad example there because it's not a huge priority for people. But when you don't know what to farm, if you've already decided you don't want to spend the cost of that relevant Lightspeed bundle, then you can comfortably farm that manually, knowing you're not going to feel like you wasted anything because you never were planning on buying that in the first place. All right, now I want to address that last group of people. Those that aren't going to buy Lightspeed bundles, and I kind of already talked about this, but if you're not going to buy the Lightspeed bundle and you know you're not going to buy it for those characters, then go get that character. Now, I think the only argument you can make is maybe you'll get one gifted one from a guild member or from a channel giveaway or something, but I just don't think that is happening often enough that it's worth delaying some of your farms. Or for example, some people got the Finalizer bundle, but they know they can't afford to also go get the SLKR bundle. Well, use the Finalizer Rex that you got and go finish out your SLKR requirements. The Finalizer bundle gets you like halfway there. Go finish out the other half. So if you've gotten bundles and you're not planning on getting more, just be aware that you have to go farm those things manually, and there's never a harm in going and farming those things manually, because then if a deal comes up later on for a team that you're like, oh, you know what, I think I can swing that, then you can spend that comfortably knowing that you farmed the stuff that came in older bundles manually because you didn't like the cost of it. Anyways, this has turned into less of an account update and more of me talking about Lightspeed bundles, but I really wanted to talk about this because it's been really relevant for my account. So to actually give you the account update, on my account right now, we are about to unlock Ezra Exile, we're about to unlock Ben Solo, and then we're hoarding gear for Darkside Vision Rey. So this is kind of my whole plan right now. We finished out all of our relevant bundles, and then we're hoarding the gear. I just have Cassian favorited because he has a lot of similar gear to Ben. So I'm going to gear Ben first, then Ezra, then Rey. And so we're just hoarding all of that gear right now, trying to get caught up on the gaps in my roster, which for me right now is mostly Conquest characters. We are extremely close to Executor. That will be my priority as soon as I finish up those 3 Conquest characters. I just want to push it a little bit further to see if a bundle comes out in the early part of this next year to get these last 2 characters if it's reasonably priced. After that, it's probably just going to be letting Lightspeed bundles steer me, but if for some if some way Lightspeed bundles don't come, I think we're going to be pushing into Leia after that. You can see my Leia Rex, I'm only missing 3 at Relic levels, and then these guys just need to come up to Relic 7, which I definitely don't mind doing with my CLS team. I even don't mind doing with my Nisa, and certainly don't mind doing with my Captain Rex. So other than that, Lobot coming to Relics, yeah, I don't really want to do that, but that's fine, I'll do that. Scout Trooper, I'm hoping will come in a bundle later. I was working on sharding him, but I've been just focused on gear for so many other characters that I kind of stopped on that, but we're not that far off from being able to shard him. And then Drogon is a Cantina farm, which I just have so much signal data, so I just haven't had a chance to go get him yet. As far as ships go, we are farming the Punishing One. I'm trying to get Rebel Y-Wing, but holy crap, Rebel Y-Wing refuses to show up. But we are farming Punishing One, we're refreshing this notes, we're double farming this each day, trying to get this for when we do get Executor. And then after we get Executor and we get Leia, we'll actually probably push into Leviathan. I'm really not that far off from Leviathan, and like I talked about, planning on taking Malgus up pretty soon after that, so that's kind of my plan for right now, pushing Leia into, or Executor into Leia into Leviathan, but I have a feeling that plan will 100% get thrown off from Lightspeed bundles that come out early next year. Anyways, boys, that's it for this main account update. I wanted to just kind of generally talk about my general strategy, and then I'm sure by the next time we do one of these, there will be more Lightspeed bundles, and that will be directing where we're going in the future. So if you like the video, like the video, and subscribe. I love you all. Take care and peace.